I'm standing right next to a fire extinguisher. This is very important for safety norms, yes. And why am I starting out with this is because this is a part 2 of the petroleum engineering video that we are talking to Dr. Suman Paul, and we have been covering a lot of labs, but this becomes a very, very important stuff because labs, when we are generating a lot of oxygen, combustion, carbon dioxide inside this will make sure everybody is safe around. And of course, none other than HOD of Petroleum Engineering, Dr. Suman Paul, is there to look after everybody's safety. And also the way he's explaining everything in detail, I will probably go back to a refinery and start getting the oil out, start getting the crude oil out. Yeah. So in part 1 of the video, Dr. Paul, we actually covered 2 labs out of the 5 big labs that we have at Presidency University. So which will be the third lab, and what is the lab all about?
Okay, as you talked about safety, let me finish this part first. Yes. So in all the labs, we have kept all the taken care of all safety things. Okay, we have in all the 5 labs. And also we are offering course called Health, Safety and Environment. That is also very important. That for
come again. What was that course again?
Health, Safety and Environment. That we are offering.
Right. So it was just our bell ringing in the university. So I just wanted that to be mentioned again. So we are entering Reservoir Engineering Lab now. So this is the lab, if I am not wrong, where we will know where the methane gas actually is reserved. Is that what we'll be doing? Yes. Checking out in this lab?
Okay. So in the first lab, that is geology lab, we have identified rocks.
Correct.
We have identified whether that rock carries hydrocarbon or not.
Correct.
Once it is confirmed, we have to drill it. Correct. So in the next lab, what we have done, drilling fluid and cement labs, we have drilled through it.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Then after drilling, we got the core samples. Yes. Core samples I have shown in the lab 1, geology lab.
Exactly. So that was all in the part 1 video that we covered. Yes. In this lab.
In this lab, we have your core sample with you.
Correct.
Now you have to check the rock properties, rock characterization we will do, and fluid characterization. So if that is a rock, its property will study, and if any fluid is inside, that property will also study. So when this is reservoir engineering lab, we mainly study reservoir rocks. Okay. So that rock sample that we received from the field, that we will be studying. Mainly for reservoir engineering, we will concentrate in 2 things. Okay. One is porosity, second one is permeability. If it is porous, it will hold hydrocarbon. If it is permeable, it will transmit hydrocarbon. So these all are the equipments we have, like here porosity by saturation for liquid, then we have instrument porosiometer, then we have gas permeameter, then capillary pressure, liquid permeameter. All these equipments are very highly, means very costly.
It's very expensive.
Even sophisticated equipments, all are, we got it from US. Okay, so it is more than crores in that lab we have spent. Yes. So all these things, what we are mainly doing, we are characterizing rock properties. Porous, whether it has porosity, it has permeability. If it is porous or permeable, if it is carrying hydrocarbon, what is that fluid property? That we will be studying in this lab.
Fantastic. And so much of crores of rupees put in only for the students' benefits and for students to make sure they get all the equipments well in hand to make them industry ready. That is what we are trying to do here.
I can tell you, like when you have visited drilling fluid lab and drilling fluid and cement lab and reservoir engineering lab, like you can say these 2 labs, if considering the academic institutions, may be one of the best in India.
Agreed. Completely agreed. That's what is happening at Presidency University. And so this is the 3rd lab that we have covered. So which will be the 4th lab? After reservoir, what are we next going to do? In terms of, we are going upstream to downstream. See, that is the main process.
Yes. Yeah. So now we'll be visiting to process control and instrumentation lab.
Right. Okay, let's go to process control and instrumentation lab right away. Right, process control lab. So we will be looking at how the whole process of refinery is probably getting controlled on these lines, and the crude oil, we've just got the crude oil now, we've drilled everything, we have passed the fluid, and we've also made sure that the complete geology of the crude oil is known for. So this is what happens in this lab.
So one more thing I should inform you, when you're talking about E&P, exploration and production, so this petroleum engineering, within petroleum engineering, there are basically 3 pillars.
Okay.
One is drilling engineering. We have covered drilling fluid and cement. Another one is reservoir engineering that just now we have covered. Now third one is production engineering. So production of crude oil from the field. So crude oil we have produced now. It is now on the surface. Now in the surface, this is basically surface facility system that it is designed. Now from here we'll like all those facilities or processes that we follow here in the surface, on the surface, in the field, and then we'll take all the crude oil to downstream. Okay.
So there is a two tank interacting system here. So what does this system actually do, Dr. Paul? What is this all about?
So here basically we are just measure the different kind of flow. For the students, that what we are doing, we are using water here. And how it is flowing, flow rate, all those things they are calculating.
But in the real life, that's going to be crude oil actually.
Yes.
Right. So for teaching purpose, we're using the water, but in real life, it's going to be definitely crude oil.
You will not get in the market, right?
I will be in your lab only if you get crude oil in our university. For my vehicles, I will need a lot of oil, so I'll be staying here itself.
So I have crude oil. Here we have crude oil here.
Oh, right.
Okay. I will show you that also.
Oh, that's a nice one.
That we will be covering. I will show you that crude oils also.
So definitely my T-shirt is really making sense. I need huge amount of money, and money is with Dr. Paul, with the Petroleum Engineering Department. Fantastic. So with all this, what do you think a student can? Of course, see, there's huge money involved in this career. Okay, of course, in the Middle East and all that, if some company picks him, and he's going to earn in millions for sure. So any this is my layman term knowledge of what is going to happen. But any intricate details on how a student can process and progress with petroleum engineering?
Okay, so here what we do, like besides their offering regular courses, and we are updating our curriculum almost in every year. True. And we are taking feedback from the industry people, our alumni, our students, even from their parents also. And accordingly, we are updating our curriculum almost every year. Now, almost even our professors or our external, those are from industry, those are from IITs, professors and all that course. So beside this curriculum, we are arranging internships training for the students in oil and gas industry. They are interacting with the professionals. They are visiting petroleum research institutes. They are interacting with the scientists. And from the second year onwards, they are working under our professors. They are doing their projects, upstream, downstream projects they are doing under our faculties. They are publishing paper. They are taking part in outside also, other universities, and they are winning prizes. Our students won many prizes outside also. And this year, we should mention here, we have 2 international student chapters. SPE student chapter, SPE stands for Society of Petroleum Engineers, and AAPG students chapter, AAPG stands for American Association for Petroleum Geologists. And we also have our internal student society. We call it PUPF, Presidency University Petroleum Forum. Now this year we received the second highest award from SPE. So almost more than 450 student chapters are there. And out of that 420, only 10% will get this award. So this year we are we got this award this year. So our responsibility is to organize events throughout the year, because they want students to learn all those things, how to organize things, all those things. Not only delivering what they're studying, all those things, but also they expect them to organize different events like that. So that training also they are getting here, and for that only they won the prize. That is entire credit goes to our students only.
Fantastic. And all these prizes, awards and recognition, definitely when they go back to any industry, for sure it's going to turn into millions.
Yes, definitely.
So next we are getting into a petroleum testing lab. Will I get crude oil here?
Yeah, definitely.
Let us get into petroleum testing lab. So basically, quality of the petrol being tested here, probably I'll be knowing which is probably gasoline, petroleum, diesel, kerosene, right?
Yes. So drilling is done, you have tested reservoir, you have your crude oil with you. Now you have transported that crude oil to downstream refinery. Now they will refine it, they will follow some processes, and different products will come, right? So this lab is specially designed for testing petroleum products. Okay, so crude oil and other products. So these are the equipments we have.
Yes. So every equipment has the quality control test being done.
Yes. So different properties we will study here.
Sir, how do you know? I just want to know as a student here. Is that the viscosity that matters a lot?
Yes, viscosity matters. We measure viscosity also. It changes.
Right. So if I'm not wrong, gasoline is the purest form, or probably what we call airplane fuel or the
Yes.
rocket fuel.
We can show it. So that to you there, we have ATF, aviation turbine fuel, and you can see
Right.
crude oil, different products you can see.
Yes.
Furnace oil here, lube oil,
Oh my God.
sulfur,
So probably
so
I'm.
ATF, aviation turbine fuel,
Yes.
kerosene, diesel, petrol, all are here.
Yes. So if I'm not wrong, aviation turbine fuel, I think this becomes the costliest one.
Yeah.
Right. So this probably becomes the costliest one at ATF.
And all these are donated by Indian Oil Haldia Refinery.
Oh my God, fantastic. So we can't touch it. It's inside the cage because Dr. Paul has made sure people like me are going to come across a lot of times and take some crude oil and go back because it's a very costly crude oil here. But is there any scientific reasoning behind that we have kept it in a closed shell like this to avoid evaporation basically?
That is one of the reason, and as we kept it for the display because people very few people have seen this before maybe, so that is the reason. But for the student purpose, we have crude oil with us. We have received from NGC, we have received from Indian Oil. That student they are using during the lab.
Fantastic. So what Dr. Paul is trying to tell me is, if you want crude oil, Naveen, you need to make sure you join petroleum refinery course. That is what he's trying to tell me. But fantastic to see all this, Dr. Suman Paul, because the way we are getting out the products from petroleum, even our petroleum jelly that we apply to the skin.
Yes. That is the costliest one.
Oh, is it? My God, we get it at $10 per box.
Yes.
But then you think that's the costliest. How come?
And that means cost of production is high. That is the reason why like most of the refineries they are not making that.
Is it?
Yeah.
So tell me something. See, after ATF, I know it is going to be petrol and then diesel, then kerosene, then engine oils and lube oils and crude oils and all that, right?
Lube oil sample
Lube
also.
oil sample, right? So tell me, where is this? See, I don't want to mention the brand of what it is. Okay. So where is this petroleum jelly thing that comes out that we apply on our skin? Where is that process coming out from?
Okay. So before talking about petroleum jelly, let me tell you one thing. Like when you're talking about crude oil, it can be heavy crude, it can be lighter crude.
Oh, okay.
If it is a lighter crude, after processing you will get diesel, petrol and all. But if it's heavier crude, like from there only you will get this jelly.
Oh, so it depends naturally on the nature of the crude oil.
Yes.
That is why it is so difficult to get that.
Yes, that's why from every crude oil you will not. So wherever you will go, crude oil property will vary from one place to another. Right. It will never be the same in two places.
Right. So just for example, just for again, I've become really like a student. I really want to know this. What is the difference between the crude oil that we get at Middle East and the crude oil that we get in Assam and in our country? Any slight difference?
There is no such. Always property will be different. Okay, it can somewhere you will find lighter crude oil, somewhere you will find heavier crude oil. Right. And if I have seen that Middle East crude oil, I have seen that it is little green in color. Somewhere you will find dark black, somewhere you find brownish black, different color. It depends on the property. If it is heavier, most of the cases color will be darker. If it is lighter, color will be light color.
Nice. So just wanting to close on this video, just making sure that for all these things here at Petroleum Engineering is for the students to come up and learn and make sure they become the best refinery engineers in their life.
Yes, petroleum engineers for upstream. Mainly we are targeting upstreams, but some courses we are offering that is related to downstream, so that they can serve downstream industry also, and they are serving. They are serving.
Sir, just again, out of curiosity, I just want to know the importance and the depth of crude oil here, because most of us, we keep trying to say that, yeah, even me, like everybody, We keep saying, yeah, petroleum prices have gone up, and it doesn't come down and all that. But tell me something. Is it not a way through that for us to reduce the petrol prices or probably get into another renewable resources of energy to run our vehicles or something like that?
Okay. So when we're talking about petroleum prices going up and down, that entirely means maximum it depends on geopolitics. Okay, they only decide. But here, if you're talking about like petroleum and all, let me tell you, like in India, if you're talking about conventional oil and gas compared to other countries like Western countries and all, like US or like some other countries, Russia, we have less reserve. But then also, let me inform you that we will get hydrocarbon in sedimentary rocks, that means in sedimentary basins. So in India, we have identified 26 sedimentary basins. Those 26 sedimentary basins are categorized into 1, 2, 3, 4. Category 1 means that from that basin we are producing hydrocarbon economically. So there are some in category 2, that means we have already reserved, we have calculated, but economically we have not yet started producing hydrocarbon from those basins.
Oh my God! So sir, what are we trying to tell here is, in India there is a lot of opportunities and depth, and we want people to dig the crude oil out and get the petroleum out, and that is what we are doing at Presidency University, giving petroleum engineering.
We have 26 sedimentary basins. Wow. Out of that, only 7 are producing. 5 basins are in the second category, category 2. Anytime they can move to the first category. And there are few, like at least 10, they are in category like 3, like that. So anytime they can move to 2 and 3, like that.
So what are we trying to conclude and tell here is, any student picking up petroleum engineering as his course, the opportunity for job in India itself is humongous.
Yes. That is there, but at the same time we need to understand the market as well. Now we are slowly like moving from conventional to unconventional. So in our curriculum we have incorporated unconventional courses also, resources like coal bed methane, shale gas, gas hydrate. We have specialized faculty in those areas, and you know, if I'm giving you the example like that fruit juice, like we are straw you are dipping and then so when just in simple way I'm just trying to describe, when you are putting you're holding that juice very strong and now you're putting the straw, what will happen? It will come out. So that is basically that I talked about, like blowout.
Some blowout.
Yes. Now if that, because pressure was there inside, after some time it will not come out, it will slowly come. So that is the first stage, we call it like primary recovery. In the second stage, what we do, like if that juice is not coming out, we'll suck it. So that is the second stage, secondary recovery. We use sucker rod pump there in industry. What is the third stage? What we do? What we do is, we do like this, right? So here we cannot do that. So what we are doing it, we are drilling one additional well beside that well that is producing. Now from that well, we are injecting fluid with height, with different property, maybe density will be more. So that fluid will push through the remaining oil and that will get it here. It is tertiary recovery, sometimes we call it enhanced oil recovery. We have specialist faculty for that also. So that entire thing we have covered. We have faculty from downstream also that covered. And also like now we are like slowly shifting from it is our plan that now we are dealing only with like non-renewable energy. Maybe slowly we'll move towards non-renewable also, renewable also slowly will move.
Something like the hydrogen energy that is renewable from those lines, or something like that.
Maybe directly not that, because our specialization is not in that field. But fossil fuel trapped or naturally occurring, that only we'll target. Maybe now people are targeting geothermal, so that also we can go for it. So all those things we are planning.
Unbelievable, fantastic. I should be telling you this. Let that, and I hope and pray to God that, let that juice bottle never be empty like your knowledge. Let it always be evergreen like your knowledge, and the in-depth knowledge that you have shared to us is fantastic. And thank you so much for all this time that you have spared.
One more thing I should add here, we have 2 more labs.
Right.
Petroleum, the Reservoir Simulation and Modeling Lab.
Right.
So before drilling or after drilling, like when we started producing from the reservoir, now it has become dynamic. Like first we have designed one model that was static model. Now we have started producing. So property will keep changing. So now we'll go for the dynamic model. So that modeling and simulation that we'll do in that lab, reservoir simulation and modeling lab, we have like 2 industry software that we have, and also recently we have received one software from Landmark Halliburton that is in market price, like commercial price is more than 75 crore that they have donated us for our students.
Whoa, again, say that again, more than 75?
Crore, yeah. So I have that tax invoice, which we have not paid anything, that is free of cost for us, but they have donated for our students. So that our students are learning that 75 crore software. And at the same time, we are trying to get more software from other organizations also. That is one. Second lab we have that is basically oil and gas processing plant design lab. Like the thing this in process control lab, whatever they are doing, or some process design, all those things they will be doing in that lab.
Fantastic. So all in all, 5 practical labs, 2 software labs, so totally 7 labs of petroleum engineering. Lot of money to earn. Come join Presidency University's petroleum engineering courses, and Dr. Suman Paul and his fantastic faculty will make sure students earn in millions or billions. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Maximum.
We'll expect maximum. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.